I think you look like the sun just beat you to death. And I love that. I think we should all be beaten by the sun. Hi everybody, and welcome back to my channel. As you guys can tell from the title, we're filming a full get ready with me. If you're new here and you don't know what that is, it's exactly what I said. A full get ready with me. Hair, makeup, outfit, perfume, you name it, I'm gonna show it in this video. This is inspired by a spring date night, okay? The seasons have changed, the sun is coming out, the flowers are blooming, we're feeling good, okay? This get ready with me is kind of on par with that. So if you wanna see how I got this makeup look, the hair, or the outfit, then just keep on watching. All right, y'all, I feel like it's been so long since I've done a full get ready with me, so excuse me if I'm a little not the best at it. We're gonna start with this hair though first, because I need to tame this little front section going on here. Normally I twist my hair up at night, and I did, but the front just didn't do what she was supposed to do, okay? So I'm gonna just re-moisten and twist this little front area of my hair while we get ready. So then by the time my makeup is done, all of this should be dry and ready to go. And I got so many questions from y'all about this hair. I feel like the questions were never ending. So I don't know where the hair came from. My homegirl Tasha got this for me in Atlanta and overnighted it to me here in Dubai, because there is no hair out here. So first things first, I'm taking this Amika the Wizard. This is just a detangler, and I'm just gonna lightly spray this just so that I can comb through the hair, because I don't really want to add any water, if I'm being really honest. And then I'm just gonna take this Kerastase anti-frizz glaze milk. I really like this. It's basically just like a leave-in moisturizer or a leave-in conditioner. So this will kind of wet the hair up a little bit. I'm gonna brush that through. So the hair's a little damp, but it's not wet, you know? And this is a flip over method, so the install's a bit different. Anyways, so I'm kind of flat twisting the hair, I guess, if that's how you want to call this. So I'm just twisting and picking up hair as I twist, twisting and picking up hair. If you see me looking over here, it's because my mirror is over here. I gotta see myself somehow, girl. And then I'm just gonna twist it all the way down. And then by the time we finish our makeup, this should dry and we should be in the clear. All right, same thing on the other side. So literally, that's all we're gonna do for the hair. And then at the end, we'll take the twist down, and it should be real cute. It should be real cute. So that's all you gotta do for the hair, girl. All right, so we're gonna move straight into the makeup. I actually think I should pin my hair back, 'cause I am not trying to get makeup all up in all of this. Cool. So the biggest step, in my opinion, for springtime, summertime is the prep. Girl, we gotta prep, okay? Just trust me on this, trust me on this. So I'm gonna be starting with my AllyiahsFace, the base face milk. This is such a nice, like, hydrating, thick milk kind of a vibe. I just put it in my hand like that, rub it around, and just press it into the skin with my hands. And when I say instant hydration, like, your skin is going to feel so hydrated, so milky, so slip, and just nice. Oh, also, I just got my face microbladed, or not microbladed, micro needled. So my skin looks a little crazy. I got some friends that done came up out the woodworks, you know? So just pay that no mind, pay that no mind, okay? Yeah, so I'm just pressing all of this, and it's so nice. It is so, so nice. This, I guess, could double as skincare, but I personally only use it for makeup prep, but you could definitely use this like for skincare for sure. Another really big tip when it comes to doing your skin prep is to give things time to soak into the skin. So we just put that product on. I'm not just gonna go straight into my next primer. I wanna give it about a minute or two to really just kind of like get in there and then move forward. Okay, now that I feel like that's all soaked into the skin, we're gonna move to the next one. The next kind of prep prime product that I have is the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Glow Serum. I have mine in the shade Main Squeeze. And when I tell you guys, you wanna talk about glowing from within, this is gonna give you that vibe. The only thing, I hate the smell of this. I don't know what's in this that got it smelling like that. Girl, I do not like the smell of this. But it makes the skin so pretty and everything just lays so nicely on top of it. So I just give it a bit of a squeeze and then I'm just gonna rub that in. You can't go wrong with Danessa Myricks products. I also feel like the summer, spring is just meant for glowy, hydrated, beautiful skin. And something else that I feel like for a date night, there is just something so pretty about just being so glowy and just like, it's just pretty. You look like a goddess. So you definitely want to tap into that glowy vibe for your date, or at least I am, girl. I would. Next is another Danessa Myricks product. This is the Yummy Skin in Universal Radiance. I like the radiant version and I like the universal version. So what I do is I just take my finger and rub it over the top of the surface and get some on my finger and then just start to place it everywhere I want it, specifically center of my face. So nose, under eye, that's where this really gets packed on. And by packed on, I don't literally mean packed on, girl. Just kind of brush it in there. Corner of the nose. This is gonna help everything just lay seamless. So everything before was really about moisture, hydration, plump. This is our first like real like prime to help with texture and the way everything is gonna lay. Now, yes, I focused it in that center area, but I am still putting this all over the face. This product is also really good when you're not wearing makeup. It really just kind of like blurs the skin. I don't know, it's just really pretty. So even on your like no makeup days, not even no makeup, on your no makeup days, but you just kind of want your skin to look nice, over top of your sunscreen, going in with this will give you like a really pretty glow, but also kind of just like make the skin look smooth. Okay, so I'm gonna give that a second to really like get up in the skin. And by a second, girl, I mean like a minute so that I can go wash my beauty blender. I'll be right back. Okay, so I think we can move into complexion products now. So we're gonna be starting with foundation, and I put that in quotes because of the way we're gonna apply it. The thing about spring, summer makeup, in my opinion, is you don't wanna go too heavy. Maybe you do, and that's up to you, but this video that I'm gonna show you, we're not going too heavy. You wanna be very, very light-handed. We're really going for that naturally pretty, like, but like she got a little something on. Like she beat, but like, I think that's her, you know? And then to your date, you know, boys is dumb, girl. He gonna think you ain't got a lick of makeup on. Anyways, I'm going in with this Patrick Ta foundation. I have mine in the shade 17. It's a little light for me, and I know what you're thinking. That don't look like, my body is so tan, y'all. My body is so tan, but this is just where we're gonna meet. So I'm gonna start with a pump on the back of my hand. And what we're gonna do is take a stippling brush of choice. You can get whichever one you want. Today, I'm using the IT Cosmetics Cream Blush Brush. It's a blush brush, but I'm gonna use it for foundation, okay? And what you wanna do is kind of just get your brush loaded with some product, okay? So just swirl it on the back of your hand into that product and then start applying to the face. And you're gonna be going kind of in paintbrush motions, circular motions. It's a stippling brush, so you have a lot of freedom with it as far as like your movements are concerned, and it won't be like streaky or anything. I'm just kind of veiling over the skin in product. I'm not putting a whole lot on, and you're just kind of dancing your brush over your face. This is the type of makeup that I call pretty in real life makeup. Like, there's makeup that you do that you know is gonna photograph well, but it doesn't always necessarily look the best in person, just because it might be a bit too heavy or too visible to the eye, depending on what you're going for. This is gonna be like in real life, like so pretty. And that's kind of like what we're going for. If your ears are gonna be showing, always make sure that you put a little bit of this on your ear, especially if you have any kind of like discrepancies in your skin tone, like I do. Put it on your ears or you're gonna be looking crazy. I'm gonna take another little pump, and because this is like an evening-ish date night kind of vibe, I am gonna go in with a second layer. So kind of let this sit for a second, give it like a minute, and then go back in with your stipple. And what I really like about this Patrick Ta foundation is it is really nice and buildable, and it's very hydrating and just so pretty on the skin. So going in with that second layer, especially because I'm having a few breakouts, so I definitely need the second layer. But if you just have like naturally gorgeous skin, you can probably skip the second layer. Like this side of my face doesn't necessarily need the second layer. This side of my face, the thing is this monstrosity, girl, can't nothing cover that. That's texture. That's a big old bump. It's not even like color. It's the bump. But just so everything's even, I am gonna do another layer on this side as well. And I'm not really putting too much under the eyes because we are gonna go there with concealer. So just kind of sweeping whatever's left in that space. I'm gonna give that a second. And then I'm gonna take that beauty blender that I mentioned earlier and just kind of press over the skin. This is going to just kind of smooth everything over in case there's any streaks. And it's also gonna pick up any excess product that just don't need to be sitting on the skin. And that's why I said kind of will let it like sit on your face for a minute and then go in with this, because then any streaks that were there will kind of level out a bit, so you don't need as much. And then whatever's just kind of like sitting on top of the face, you can pick up. So here we are, we're very blank canvas, giving egg. Now let's move into concealer. My all-time holy grail favorite concealer of all time is the NARS Radiant Creamy the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I have mine in the shade Praline. This just works for me. Okay, it's kind of more on the peachy side. Most of the products that I use for my skin are on the peachy side because my skin is very interesting in its undertone. 1 minute I'm warm, 1 minute I'm cool, 1 minute I'm neutral, 1 minute I'm olive. Girl, it really just depends, okay? I find that going peach just kind of like fits for me, okay? So what I'm doing is I'm just scraping some of the product on the back of my hand. If you guys haven't noticed, I've kind of really stopped just like applying product directly to my face. I end up using way too much product that way, and it just don't be looking the best all the time. It just depends on the technique, but for what we're going for, this to me comes out the prettiest. Taking that on a brush, this is the Hourglass. Yep, it's an Hourglass brush, but this brush, girl, ooh, this is a good concealer brush. This brush is so nice. Love this for concealer. I know y'all see that angle. My camera is being so weird about focusing on stuff. So y'all see that angle on that brush? It's wide, it's dense. Ooh, it's such a good brush. Taking that and just loading it with the product. Just getting it in there and working it into the brush. So I'm really like, you know what I mean? And then from there, I'm gonna start to tap this under my eye. I like to apply my concealer and stuff this way because I feel like, number one, I'm getting the coverage that I want, but without just like piling on the concealer. And while some people's skin and face can handle that amount of makeup, I have just found that on me, it just isn't that flattering to do that. It's just personal preference. But for the spring and summer, I think this is also the way to go because it's hot outside, girl. All that thick is woo. Okay, so we have to work in thin, small layers to get to where we're trying to be. So you see I'm just pressing it in, working into that inner corner as well. And I take my concealer onto my upper lip as well because I got a mustache. We gotta cover that up, girl. So now look at the difference here with our concealed highlighted side versus not concealed side. Very pretty, very seamless, but do you see how like smooth this looks? Do you see how it doesn't look cakey? Now we need to blend over here by the nose just a bit more. Get into that. Do you see how like pretty? And it's flowing, it blends into everything just like very seamlessly. That's the goal, and I feel like I'm able to achieve that look better by going into the product on my hands and then applying to the face. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the same to the other side of my eye. Loading my brush up once more. Look at how just so pretty. I just love it. I'm gonna take some more of what's on the back of my hand. I also do concealer on my chin. So pretty much all the center of the face. And there's still so much product in the brush. I don't even need to like load it up again, especially for these areas where I don't need a heavy coverage. I just need the color, you know what I mean? I'm then gonna take my sponge and just go over all of these areas. My sponge is damp, by the way. And I'm just tapping it over everywhere that we just applied that concealer. And this is, again, gonna get rid of any streaks and also pick up any excess. Now we're highlighted. You can go lighter if you want. I'm not going lighter because my body, y'all, is so dark. Like my body, I'm so tan right now. So if I go any brighter than this, my head gonna look like it's floating on my body. So now we're gonna move into our cream bronzer. You wanna do all your creams and then we'll move into powders. So for cream bronzer, this has been my go-to, my favorite, my jam. This is the Say cream bronzer. Mine is all scratched, so I do not remember the shade, but this is the Sun Melt bronzer. Sorry, I can't remember the shade, y'all, but I'll try to put it in the description bar. As you can see, I've had this for a long time and I've got a pretty good dent in her. So to apply this product, this is gonna be one of the products we actually do apply directly to the face. I am a more bronzer, the better kind of girl. I just feel like you could never have too much bronzer. I don't care. I just feel like there's never enough. There's never too much. Give me more. Give me more. I'm taking this Sephora number 47 brush. It looks like a paintbrush, and I'm literally just gonna, and I'm being heavy-handed with this, and I'm just gonna start to like paint this onto the face, starting with the forehead, moving to the cheekbones. So when you put your bronzer on your cheekbones, you don't want it to be under your cheek. Do not put your bronzer here. Your bronzer needs to go on the cheekbone and above, like here. okay? Because when you start putting it down here, you start dragging your face down, you start looking muddy. That's just not what we want. So it's gonna go here and it's gonna connect into the temples. You can even, I do a little on my chin. That's because I have a bigger chin. If you have a smaller chin, I feel like it's not really necessary, but maybe for the cohesiveness. So just a bit down there. And if you're a jaw kind of person too, you can do that. I'm not big on that. It'd be making me look scary. Now to blend this out, we're going to be using this Makeup by Mario double-ended brush. I'm using the fluffy side here. And this, let me hold it up so y'all can see. You see the way that looks? Starting at the forehead, you wanna push it back. So you want the darkest part of the color from your bronzer to be in your hairline, not here. So it's gonna be light here and then blend into darker shades. So when you're blending, don't pull it this way, you wanna pull it this way. So I don't know if y'all can see like what my wrist is doing like this. Am I making sense? So when I'm blending it, it's doing like this. Yeah, so you see how that blended? And then you just take what's left over now and blend it into the center of the forehead, okay? And you wanna tap as well. So the motions that you're doing are a combination of many, but boom. So you see it's kind of all cohesive now. Now we're gonna move to the cheeks. So kind of the same motion, except it's more tapping and I'm going upward with it. Almost like it's blush. Think of where you would put your blush and that's kind of where you're gonna put your bronzer, okay? And I'm just tapping and dragging back, tapping and dragging back. And I want it to connect right here at my temple with the bronzer from the forehead. Also, when you're blending, you're not gonna blend this way with the brush. You want the brush this way. Do you see? Starting with the tapping motions. A little drag in some places where need be, but mostly a tap motion. So the lowest that we're going with this is the hollow of the cheek, and you don't want to go any lower than that. So look at how that just blended in seamlessly. Do you see how this all is just blending outside of that big old monstrosity on my forehead? Boom, 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 boom. Everything is nice and, you know? Yeah, that's what you want. Then I'm just gonna come down here and do the chin. I'm just kind of fluffing it out, basically, because I didn't really put a lot of product there. Now, y'all are gonna think I'm crazy, but I'm gonna put more bronzer on. Yeah, I am. I really like a heavy bronzer. That's my personal choice. And I think for the spring and summer, you should like a heavy bronzer. I think it's so pretty. I think you look like the sun just beat you to death. And I love that. I think we should all be beaten by the sun. If anybody's gonna be kicking your ass, let it be the sun. So I'm not putting any more on the chin or the lower half of the face, just the forehead cheek. And we're gonna do the same blending technique that we just did. Now, if you're like me, you've probably started to accumulate a bit more of a contrast right here between your concealer and your bronzer. You have two choices. You can leave that because you're gonna add blush and it's all gonna kind of blend together at that point. But for me, I like to go with my beauty blender and just tap at that edge just to blend it. You see the difference that happened there versus here? You see how you can see that line versus now once I tapped it out with my beauty blender? So you just wanna do the same over here. And then I like to take the butt of my beauty blender and just tap right underneath the bronzer, just to make sure we didn't go too low. It kind of cuts it a little bit. This is where we're at right now. And I know what you're thinking, what about your nose? I don't do too much cream for the nose. Maybe if I'm feeling spicy, I'll take what's left over and put it right here under my eyebrow. Y'all see that right there? I'll put it right there, right there. That's about as much that you're gonna get out of me. When it comes to the bronzer, I'm gonna blend that out with a little synthetic brush with cream bronzer on the nose. I prefer to do the powder there. I'm not a huge nose contour kind of girl, so I just like to make sure that the colors are cohesive, but we'll do that at a later step. But if you are someone who cream contours your nose, this is when you'll do that. All right, so now we're gonna move into blush. You guys, I feel like I have found the most beautiful spring summer blush to exist. And this will work for my skin tone and darker. If you're lighter than me, maybe get a different color because I feel like this might be a bit dark on you. But if you're me and deeper, I feel like you'll have a good time. So this is the Charlotte Tilbury Pinkgasm Beauty Wand in the shade Hollywood. Now listen, y'all, this is a shimmery pinky red sunset. Oh, it is so beautiful. You have a couple of options. You can apply it directly to the face or you can apply it to the hand. I'm gonna do the hand just because I don't want to get too much on my face, but I need y'all to look at this. Look at that color. Do you see? It's like a berry. Oh my God. And I know berry, you think more fall. No, on the face, this just gives summer. It's gorgeous. It's so stunning. And then I'm gonna go in with another kind of like stipply type of brush, kind of similar to the one we did our foundation with, except angled for blush. This is from Hourglass, but you can get any kind of brush like this. I'm gonna load my brush up. Y'all get used to it. This is the technique that has been working for me. And then we're just gonna start applying and tapping it on. Okay, now that's just like a very thin veil. Now, I don't know if you guys are noticing, I'm taking it up right here as well onto the temple. Do not just put your blush right here unless you like that. I like a cohesive, I like for everything to kind of look married together. So, and I know some people really do like the blush here, you know, however you like to do it. For this look, and for my advice to you, for that she naturally got it like that pretty girl look, this is what I would suggest. Always take it up onto the forehead temple area. It's gonna just make everything very cohesive. So this is just a small layer. You can see it, but we gonna add some more, okay? So we're gonna keep building this up until we have a color payoff that I really like. I kind of like that sunburnt-y look. If you follow me on TikTok and you see my PBB, my post beach beat, we're kind of going for that vibe a little bit, but more makeup, if that makes sense. I put a second layer onto that, right? So pretty. And then I'm gonna take my beauty blender and blend the edges where the blush meets my concealer. Okay, so blush, no blush. You see the little bit of redness, and in person it's a bit stronger. The camera, I gotta figure out how to do the lighting in here, y'all. Just know she's very pretty. She's very much there. I put some more blush on the back of my hand, and I'm gonna do the other cheek now. Also, kind of the placement that you do your blush does depend on your face shape as well. I have a more angular, very defined face, so I find that I like to do like my whole cheek in blush because it makes my cheeks look bigger, fuller. Whereas some people like a more chiseled cheekbone kind of vibe. I don't like that because I got enough cheekbone. Okay, I don't need no help there. So for me, I like to just add kind of fluffiness to my face with my blush, almost in a cutesy kind of way. Now at this point, I'm really happy with the way that pretty much everything is looking, except I'm gonna go back in with a little more concealer, and I'm just gonna kind of really bring out this very center of my face with my concealer. So I'm loading up my brush again, and I'm just coming right in here, right by the nose, right at the under eye, just to make sure that this space doesn't get lost in all of the color. I wanna make sure that I still do have a bright under eye, because I like a bright under eye. And then tapping out those edges. So I don't know if y'all can see the difference here, how we kind of redefine that space versus over there. And if you ever add too much of one product in an area and it's overtaking the other, just go back with your brushes. That's another really good thing about using brushes, is that they have a residue of the product, and it's usually in a sheer kind of way, so you can lightly go back and layer it up the way that it needs to be. So now that we're here, it's time to move in to powders. I have gone back to Old Faithful Miss Laura Mercier. This is the powder that I'm going to be using to set my under eyes. So I'm just going to put some in the cap, and I have a puff here. It's a little dirty, but you know, it get the job done, okay? So I'm gonna take that, evenly dip it into some product. So this is what it will look like. What you wanna do is tap this on the back of your hand and get it smooth into the puff. You want it loaded into the puff like how we load everything else, okay? Because you don't want too much powder. Make sure if you have fine lines under your eyes like I do, make sure you blend those out either with your brush or your beauty blender. I'm just gonna go with my beauty blender because it'll pick up the excess product. Stretch your skin like this. Okay, and then tap. Now look at how smooth, look at how smooth. The powder is the blurring. The powder is gonna give you that blur, that just, yeah. Taking a little bit more powder and just putting it everywhere that we put concealer. So down our nose, center of the forehead, and on our chin. I even take it on my eyelids just because they get a little oily. Of course, on the upper lip, if y'all know me, if it's one thing I hate, it's a shiny upper lip. It look like snot. It look like you've been eating chicken, girl. Powder around that mouth, okay? Cool. We're looking very pretty. We're gonna set the rest of our face. I'm using the Rare Beauty powder. Don't judge her. I know she look crazy. This is in the shade Golden Tan. And I'm just gonna take a very fluffy brush, load that brush up. Oh, just hit pan. Can y'all see that? Wow. Okay, watch. Knock off the dust off the excess. And we're gonna pat. Take it down your neck, especially if your powder is darker than you, like mine. I only put this lower half of the face over the bronzer blush and on the forehead. This is going to set everything into place so that when we go in with our powdered products, they don't just stick. They're gonna blend, okay? What I'm gonna do now is go in with a little bit more of that Laura Mercier and just kind of reverse contour a little bit here. It'll kind of be dusted away when we do our bronzer. Now we're gonna move into powdered bronzers. So I have two here. I've really been enjoying this YSL All Hours Hyper Bronzer. I believe this is the darkest shade it comes in, which is absurd. So that's why I'm saying take this with a grain of salt, girl. Then I also have Fenty Beauty's Beijing Yao. I really like this one as well. This one's a much more orangey, kind of warm bronzer. This one's kind of more of a chocolatey brown bronzer. So I'm going to mix the two. However, either one of them on their own would be fine for me to use. It's just about preference. And I'm using a very fluffy kind of brush for this as well. I swirl my bronzer, especially on the forehead. So I come up here and I swirl. You can tap if you want, but I'm a swirler when it comes to bronzer, and that's because I like a lot of it and I don't mind if it blows out everywhere, you know what I mean? On the cheeks, I do tap. I don't swirl on the cheeks. Now, I'm sure you guys are kind of seeing how the colors are really like coming in strong now. And then whatever is left over on this brush is what I put on my nose. So I don't really like contour it precisely. I just run some bronzer over it. Now for our powdered blush, I have been loving the Hourglass Ambient palette. This is in the shade Lotus Flower, and these blushes right here have just been giving me the spring summer feels like, so I'm just gonna kind of mix all of these together on a smaller version of the bronzer brush we just used. This is from NARS, by the way. Tap off the excess and then add it on. We don't need much here because our blush from the liquid is really pulling through. And I don't want to look too blushed down, but just enough. I love it so much. It is so pretty. It's just so pretty. I can't get over it. So now the skin is pretty much done. We're going to move up to eyes and brows. For my brows, I'm using the Refi brow pencil in the shade Don't Know. It's Rubbed Away. Pretty sure it's light brown. So I'm just going to fill in my brows how I normally would, and I will be right back. Okay, so now that the brows are done, I do fill in my brows. I like them to look really bushy. That's just the look that I like, but I would suggest just doing whatever you like with your brows. So now I like to keep the eyes pretty simple. I'm gonna be taking this NARS eyeshadow stick in the shade Rebellion, which is just like a dark brown. I'm just gonna start by applying that right there on the outer corner. Taking that same brush I used to blend my nose contour or whatever, and I'm just gonna sweep this into the crease. I don't want anything too dark because spring summer just gives me light vibes, but it's date night, so like I want to be smoky sexy, you know? And I like these because they blend so easy. You really can't mess up with this. Like, even if you put too much on, I feel like you see how you would think it's gonna be intense, but you can just blend it into the perfect little smoky vibe, just to give the eyes some depth. Taking a little bit underneath, and that just kind of deepened up the eyes a little bit. I'm gonna take another shade, Hustle, and I'm just gonna rub this across the lid, and this has a little bit of shimmer to it. To me, it just looks so pretty for the spring summer. And then I'm just gonna take another little flat brush and just kind of blend that out just a bit, because I don't want it to be like, bow, shimmer shadow on the lid, but I don't want it to just be like nothing either. Yeah, cute. Now that's it. I don't be doing too much on the eyes, y'all. Just a little something, okay? Now the lashes are my favorite part. Take your lash curler and curl the hell out of your lashes. This is the Shiseido lash curler. And when I tell you it's so good, girl, I've never used a lash curler this good in my life. To be fair though, I've only used like 2 lash curlers in my life. Y'all know I was wearing lash extensions. Matter of fact, I'm about to go get my lashes done. I'm not even kidding. I said, bring me back to the streets of the lashes. Once my lashes are all curled, we're gonna go in with mascara. You guys, this mascara is so good. If you like a volumizing mascara, this is the Benefit Bounce Mascara. It is so good. I'm gonna show y'all the brush. So the reason that I like this is the formula is kind of like this moussey formula. It's not very wet, which I personally love in a mascara. I hate a wet mascara. So this is a very moussey texture. It's so nice. Eyes are popping. Oh my God, so cute. I love this mascara. Now I do have to clean up all of the excess on my eyelids, but I'm gonna do that in a minute. Now, sometimes I do bottom mascara, sometimes I don't. Today it's giving maybe a little bit. Now, let's do lips. I'm going to be using the Refi lip liner in the shade Suede. I know you're probably expecting me to say fawn, but I'm a bit tanner right now, so I feel like this color just looks a bit better. One thing about me, the lips are always gonna be a soft pink, spring, summer not, but perfect for the spring and summer. I'm going on this kind of peachy pink lipstick. This is from Hourglass in the shade Magnolia. And what's spring, summer without a glossy lip? I'm going in with Ooh Baby from Huda Beauty. This is the most prettiest, perfect baby pink lip gloss you can get. It's so pretty, so pink. All right, now let me take this hair down so we can see kind of everything together. Bow, and just like that, do you see how that little braid out just made the leave out lay perfectly? Can y'all see my tricks? Girl, if you can't keep it to yourself, don't nobody need to be in my head like that. No way. Okay, and that man better mind his business, okay? No, but for real, if you're going on your date, girl, cover your tracks. Okay, so now our spring makeup, our spring hair. I feel like we look gorge, to say the least. Let's go get our spring outfit together, okay? Hopefully you guys can still hear me because I'm a bit far away from the microphone, but this is the dress we're going to be wearing. On camera, I feel like it's pulling white. In person, it's kind of like a very pale yellow. Almost cream, but you can see the yellow. This dress is from Meshki. It is so sexy, so cute. I love the little keyhole cutout. It's also cut out in the back, and I like the little pearl detailing, and it is all the way down to the floor. So she's a maxi, okay? Very sexy, still kind of classy. You know, a little cleave going on. Cute for a date night, cute for a date night. I have on these gorge, like flower earrings from Zara. I have been loving Zara's accessories. I don't know about anybody else. These are just so freaking pretty to me. And I know it's kind of like white on white, cream on cream, but I don't know. I just really wanted to wear these, if I'm being really honest. And I think they're so girly and springy and just, I love it. So those are the earrings that I'm wearing. As far as the rest of my jewelry, I really kept it plain. I don't know why, I just really liked less is more with this outfit. For perfume, I am wearing Parfums de Marly Delina. This is just, when you think of a date night girly, springy scent, I can't think of a better scent than this. Y'all know, ever since I got this perfume, I can't stop. It's so good. However, if you're someone who is not in the market to be spending $300 on a perfume, Dossier just came out with a version of this. So basically, y'all know Dossier makes dupes essentially for perfumes, and it's pretty spot on. So check that one out. It's literally like $40, I think, and it smells pretty much identical. So another option for you. For shoes, I'm gonna be wearing these yellow Bottega sandals, a perfect spring sandal, tying back into that yellow pop of color moment, and they're super easy to walk in. And then one thing about me, I'm gonna match my bag with my shoes, so I'm carrying this cute little yellow top handle bag. So adorable, and I got this on Amazon, girl. I think this bag was like $40. So cute. I love a little mini top handle. I think it's perfect for evenings out, nighttime bag. I mean, it's a great daytime bag too, but even better for like a dinner, a night out, that kind of a vibe. So yeah, this is what I'm gonna wear. My little springtime date night. Alrighty, you guys, that is it for this full get ready with me. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You know, just a cute little spring little moment for cute little date night. I don't know, I'm loving spring. I'm loving the light colors. I'm loving the yellows. I'm really into the yellows. Obviously, it's really trending right now. Way to be basic, but I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. I hope you guys enjoyed the makeup, the hair, the outfit, everything. And of course, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye. Hi guys, editing Aaliyah here. I told you guys that there was a surprise in this video, and here it is. The surprise is a giveaway. If you knew me, you've probably already seen that coming from a mile away. And I'm going to be giving you guys 3 tickets to the Kendrick Lamar concert on May 9th, Friday, May 9th in New Jersey. So if you are a Kendrick fan, a SZA fan, or maybe you just want to go to the concert, this is the giveaway for you. All that you have to do to enter is comment on this video. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing about the giveaway. Just leave a nice comment about the video, what you liked. Just say hi, whatever you prefer. Just leave a comment of something, right? And also in your comment, please leave your Instagram name in your comment, okay? Make sure it's all one comment with your comment and Instagram name, okay? And you must be following me on Instagram at AllyiahsFace. And before somebody come on here talking about, I don't have an Instagram, make one. It takes 2 seconds, make one. That's all I can say to that. I will be picking one winner for all 3 tickets. So I hope you got 2 homegirls or homeboys that you wanna bring with you. And yeah, that is my giveaway for you guys. I'm very excited to be giving this away to you guys. And I feel like y'all are gonna have a blast at the concert. But I just wanted to give you guys a quick little thank you. Just thank you for supporting me and always being here. And yeah, so that's all you have to do to enter. And then to receive your tickets, you do need to have a Ticketmaster account. So make sure you make one of those too, so that I can transfer the tickets to you when you win. And I will announce the winner on May 1st, midnight on May 1st. So April 30th, May 1st. That's when I will announce the winner. I'll post it on my Instagram as well as here on YouTube under my community posts. And I will be reaching out to you via Instagram to communicate about you winning, okay? So please make sure that you check your Instagram that day, okay? Or else we can't get in contact. And I'm only gonna give you 24 hours to respond to me, or else I will pick a new winner. So hope everyone understands. I can't wait to give these away. And I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching. I love you. Bye.